You're watching another episode of Epic Sketch Time. My name is Mark Monlux. I'm located in Tacoma, Washington. I'm a freelance illustrator slash cartoonist. I've been in the business since 85. And I like to draw cartoon reviews of movies. I've got got two books out called The Comic Critic Presents Seldom Seen Films and The Comic Critic Presents Blockbusters. Bill and Patrick, introduce yourselves, please.
Hi, I'm Bill Morse. I'm located in Seattle, Washington. I am also a illustrator slash cartoonist. I'm doing a web comic called Rhapsodies at rhapsodies.wpmorse.com. And along with that, I am also dabbling with a space opera that's coming along nicely.
My name is Pat McEwen. I draw a comic called The Devil and Mr. Gandhi. You can read it at devilandgandhi.com.
So Bill and I were, before you showed up, Patrick, we were talking about Emerald City Comic Con, otherwise known as ECC.
Sure.
I did okay there. Went into the black easily.
Whereas I didn't bother technically going, but I was hanging around in the lobby in the park behind the convention center drawing cosplayers with slightly mixed results, but I got a few things I was able to show off on Instagram.
I got your text offering to do a food run, Joe. However, I had either my wife or my friend Joe Manfredini was giving me assistance, and they were doing a wonderful job of taking care of my booth when I had to do, as my wife has come to refer to it, as a biological break.
I figured as much, but common courtesy and all that.
Patrick, how did you spend your weekend?
Oh, well, here on the East Coast, we got a bizarre Friday snowstorm, nor'easter. So it took me about 4 hours to get home on Friday. Came home to no power. So Saturday was recovery day, and then Sunday was family day. So I barely did anything over the weekend.
Was that all over? Was that all over the East Coast? I had a conversation with my mother who didn't comment on anything like that. So, with any luck, New England got off.
Yeah, I know the next one is going to hit more of New York City this time. But it hit all of kind of the I-95 corridor in the middle Atlantic south of New York this time.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, with my folks in Rhode Island has this weird pressure front that starts around Connecticut, so usually a lot of the bad storms get pushed out.
What time did power finally come back on? Was it Saturday?
We were pretty fortunate. It was like the middle of the night on Friday into Saturday. There's people in not too far away from where I'm at in Pennsylvania and Delaware that still do not have power from Friday night. So,
ooh, that's cold.
It packed quite a wallop.
So, this little nightmare on my screen is the Creeping Terror. It's been featured on MSK 3000, often referred to as the Carpet Monster.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually just showing the front of it. There's a long section coming out the back this way that's like a big worm thing. And what it does is it reaches out with these tentacle leaves and sucks people into this aperture, shall we call it.
Yeah, because the way you have it, minus the color, of course, it looks almost like one of Lovecraft's Ythrieans. Though I think Lovecraft's Ythrieans have less eyes.
It's slightly Freudian on all accounts. And I'm just going to extend out some of these bits here. So that when I decide to do a print, my big sellers at the comic book convention were my books.
Good.
With the playing cards coming in a strong second. I thought my prints would sell better, but apparently not so much. People, unless mashups were very popular, but all my stuff was kind of movie related. And I don't think Horror of Party Beach has the same draw or appeal as, say, Pokemon.
When you say mashup, you're talking more than one item sold at once?
Yes. Well, by mash, no, that's a combo deal. When I'm talking about a mashup, I'm referring to that when you do an illustration, and let's say you want to do all the Doctor Who characters.
Right.
Well, you can avoid any type of licensing difficulty by putting a spin on it in a way that's new and different, such as making all the Doctor Who characters kittens.
Uh-huh.
Or, let's say, combining like a steampunk Batman. Now, that's not to say that you're still not going to be infringing on a license, but an argument can be made that you're doing something more editorial. But that's a key phrase that one of my lawyer friends likes to use, is that an argument can be made. And
do they have to be blatantly different? For example, this is a piece of fan art I did merging The Ring and Poltergeist. But since they're still blatantly Carol Ann and Sadako, would that count or not?
Geek culture right now is extremely strong, and a lot of places are just letting people get away with using infringement or doing infringement or not requiring licensing. Your best bet, as always, is to call. But yeah, that's an editorial type thing.
Okay.
So an argument can be made, but an argument, as my lawyer friend says, is typically made in court. So you're batting the averages whenever you do something, whenever you don't have written permission to do something, and you're doing it for profit, then there's always a likelihood. But that's not to say that people ever follow up on it, or that the first thing that happens is usually the first thing that happens is a cease and desist letter. And at which point you cease and desist, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, because this is DeviantArt stuff. I'm more than happy to desist with most of the stuff I have on it. I mean, half the time it's kind of pathetic. The only reason I do fan art on it is it's the only way to get eyeballs on the bleeping thing. I mean,
other people do it. I can't endorse it, but other people certainly do it, and certainly they haven't encountered difficulties. Like I said, geek culture is very popular, and a lot of companies and movies are realizing that fan art actually improves recognition levels, and if recognition levels go up, then sales go up. that's not the same as them saying that they endorse it. But since you're doing a parody there, then odds are pretty good that you're not going to get bothered.
Mm.
And certainly most of the material that you see at comic book conventions are not licensed in the least. But it's for example, there was this one guy. He had been contacting the makers of Lady Death for quite a while, trying to show them his artwork. And over the years, they kept saying, "Oh, this is pretty good stuff. Keep sending us stuff." And one of the editors of Lady Death was saying, "Oh, I'll be at the comic book convention. I'll look you up." The guy came up to the guy's table, saw that he had a print of Lady Death on his thing, and said, "Hey, take down that print." And the guy immediately did so, but not because the guy was going to file a lawsuit, but because he's decided we want to use that print for the next cover of Lady Death, and thus shouldn't have it out in the marketplace. And he made thousands of dollars off of it. That's the type of stories that happen at comic book conventions. You gotta love hearing about that.
Yeah.
You were saying something, Patrick?
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was interrupting you for a second.
For the first time in many years, I missed the Oscars last night because I was too tired to watch it.
So was I, actually.
So I heard some news from our good friend Stowe today.
Yes.
He has there's a private school here called Annie Wright, and they have both a boys' school and a girls' school, and he's going to be teaching for Annie Wright. And as a result, he has decided to stop freelancing for other people and concentrate only on his own projects.
Oh, good for him, I think.
His own projects have suffered significantly this last year because he's been conscientiously prioritizing his clients' work over his own. But as a result, it took him over a year to get his Kickstarter project out. And he felt really bad about doing that. He also has a book agent, and he can't seem to get the book agent. They saw what he was doing with Sidekick Quest, but they can't seem to sell the whole gaming aspect to the bookstores of it, and that's a key element of his graphic novel, is the gaming element. So they're trying to rework it without the gaming element, just as a graphic novel.
That's surprising. I mean, I can see it working without the gaming element, but
yeah, the gaming element was part of the appeal for the gaming crowd.
And the gaming crowd is definitely not small. I mean, I hang out at a game store on a regular basis, and just as many kids as there are adults coming to play.
I think what agent is trying to get across to Stowe is that there's more of a marketplace for young adult novels and him being able to successfully promote them, something along that line.
I can see that too. I mean, the graphic novel scene for the kids right now is absolutely amazing. There's this stuff. I go and browse at the U-Books section for that, and it just blows me away every time.
I got a Facebook message just now from Russ Richards. He's sorry that he won't be able to attend. So 85 years ago, King Kong was released.
Wow.
Okay, I think I'm ready to start coloring this. I'm going to look online real quickly and see if I can find a color reference for the Creeping Terror. But I don't think there is one. I think it was a black and white film.
I think.
But it's a big alien plant. So. What are you working on there, Patrick?
I'm working on my comic cover design. It's just going rather slowly. I'm looking at some other stuff online as I'm trying to decide what I want to do with it.
Is this a new project, or?
It is. I'm hoping to make it my free comic book day comic this year. So
it looks pretty nice, though, for your logo. I'm not completely sure about the L. It looks like it's floating a little off.
Yeah, I find so often that it's better to sometimes even do each letter individually. Yeah, I'm definitely because these both copies of the text portion are just kind of put up there as kind of placeholders.
Fair enough. No, it's funny. While I may not be biggest graphics guy, I've found myself to be having to fix my own lettering frequently has made me a really, really, really annoying pedant when it comes to kerning. One thing, speaking of fan art, I was having this idea with I was sitting out in the out front of the convention hall, and I found my imagination mixing the ticket scalpers with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and having this wonderful image of the Jehovah's Witnesses scalping tickets as well as proselytizing. I also have this idea for a piece of fan art for anybody who's into Game of Thrones will appreciate, where we have two your standard pair of Jehovah's Witness team looking askance to the two evangelists standing directly next to them with their literature, who are Melisande and Thoros of Myr, with the night is dark and full of terror slogan.
Well, let's see. I've gotten fan art for this that has it going from blue to green to brown. So no one's apparently quite sure what color this thing was originally.
Is there a poster, a movie poster that you?
Everything has been colorized.
Uh-huh.
So who knows what? So I'm going to take a wild stab at it. Besides a nice green color with a red purple behind it, kind of psychedelic, will be a nice way to go about. First thing I have to do is convert it over to color. Bill, what were some of the costumes you saw while you were at the convention?
Oh, plenty. Let's see. There was. I was just telling you about the. There was the one that impressed me. There was this really good Black Panther costume. More that because the guy in the costume had a very striking resemblance to the actor. And then to make things more interesting, there was a guy who was dressed as the comic book version, the original comic book costume. It was really good. Where's my pictures? And Oh, this is embarrassing. Sort of here I was there all weekend and drawing a blank right now. So
I have a friend who was a graphic artist, and she came every single day dressed as a in a different costume. First day, she was a character from Toy Story.
oh yes, I saw her on your Facebook page.
Then it was a Game of Thrones character. And then it was from How to Train Your Dragon 2. And her best outfit, I thought, was her Jack Sparrow outfit,
Okay.
which was pretty good. Patrick, as you have a family, right? With little kids and the like.
I do not have children, no.
Oh, I thought you had kids.
Nope. But please go on with your question.
Well, I was going to ask you when the last time it was that you dressed up.
Just yesterday.
Oh, really?
No. No, it's been quite some time since I've done the Halloween thing. Never really into cosplay of any kind. Probably back when I was in grad school, we did do a couple like murder mystery theater type of things, which required some costuming. And they were quite fun.
Oh, there was one that was especially good. There was this group of people who were doing kind of a steampunk slash explorer versions of the Wizard of Oz. The with all the Wicked Witch costume was especially good. It came off like a cross between Hamilton's costume and Margaret Hamilton's costume and Witchy Poo.
Does Margaret Hamilton's costume come across as steampunk?
No,
I haven't seen Hamilton, so I have no idea.
Not Hamilton, Margaret Hamilton, i.e. the original.
The original what?
Witch.
Of the Wicked variety?
Yes.
Ah, thank you for that clarification.
So no, she was not steampunk beyond that dress she wore was kind of Victorian schoolmarm. But okay. I think the first layer of the inking is complete. And now start throwing in more detail and thickening the lines.
I'm thinking that I might have to do some blues instead of tints to get this creature down. This is just the rough coloring for it right now. I don't like to use too many colors because I'm lazy. So, So, Patrick, the storm you got hit with, it didn't dump any snow on you, did it?
Well, here's the weird thing. It depending on what side of the Delaware River you were on, you got more rain or you got more snow. When my wife and I finally got home, which was around 7 o'clock at night, when I had left my office at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we had about 6 to 8 inches of snow on the ground, on this road, everywhere. And by afternoon the next day, I'd say more than half of it was gone. And by Sunday, there was hardly a trace of snow, and it was bright and sunny and quite nice out. It was an unpleasant storm.
I just realized I shouldn't be working on this. I need to be working on my Reanimator poster. I'm going to quickly save this. Show you guys my progress on the Reanimator poster.
Okay.
I can remember where I put the folder. Okay, here we go.
Oh, that's coming along nicely.
Well, as you can see, I've done a very heavy coloring of blue here. I'm going to enlarge that. And while I kind of just like the blue like that, I'm going to be actually tinting it back to a darker green like this. But what do you think of this versus this? A little too psychedelic?
I didn't see the other.
Okay, so
I only. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
solid blue here, or a about 60% to go green on green.
Personally, I think I like the darker blue, but this isn't bad either.
What are your thoughts, Patrick?
Yeah, I go back to the other one.
Okay.
I do like that. I mean, I don't know if
Very
it's
garish, you know.
the contrast or, you know.
But part of it is if I go that garish, it's also why didn't you put red around the mouth? And it's really, are either one of you familiar with the movie?
Not the movie specifically. I know the story that it's based around.
I saw it a long time ago.
Well, the color green, the fluorescent green, was a unique effect at the time, and green is very much a part of the movie. And what I'm planning on doing is this black. I'm planning on incorporating a lot of purple into the black to make the green pop. So I'm thinking if I had the blue there against the purple, it wouldn't be quite as strong. And right now, I was just starting to use some yellow highlights, and I was thinking that this yellow is also going to be tinted back to be more green. Like about so. And it still comes across as very yellow.
Are you going to be having text between Herbert's shoulder and the chin of the head?
I need to work on the severed head danglies here.
Ah, okay.
And there's also going to be logos imposed, but I want to do this poster so that without the logos down here.
Right.
And I need to finish off drawing elements of this cat up here.
Yeah.
Like
I like that cat head, but
it's still incomplete.
It's the placement of it that's at the moment. I'm sure it's an easy fix, but
No, it's not. It wouldn't be an easy fix. The head's pretty much staying where it's staying.
okay.
I just got to figure out where I'm going to put some of these yellow highlights. Let's see, where's my image source for this? Yeah, my image source just cuts off right where I need all the neck dangly bits to be.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who are watching, a table in Artist Alley at Emerald City Comic Con runs about $450 or so, depending on when you sign up. And I think I came out about $400, $450 in the black. I am fortunate in that I have a friend that lives nearby, so I'm able to stay at his place. He also has a very nice hot tub. So if those back aches from sitting in those chairs gets to be too much, like it started to after the third day, nothing like a quick 15-minute soak in that before going to bed to ease out all the joints.
That sounds like something I could have used yesterday. I was very stiff.
You don't by chance have a hot tub, do you, Patrick? I think Patrick's on mute. I need to look at a video reference of him holding this syringe, because I need to draw a hand in here and I don't want it to look too awkward.
Right.
Now, first I'll finish up the rest of his arm over here.
It's 5:30.
Well, Bill, it would look like we lost Patrick.
Okay.
And
Yeah, yes, it would.
so since it's reached 5:30, I'm going to bring this episode of Epic Sketch Time to a close.
Okay.
If the viewers would like to join us for Epic Sketch Time, we meet at 4:30 Pacific Time. And just go to the link in the doobly-doo underneath the email here and sign up on our MailChimp mailing list. You'll get a notification either the day before to let you know that we're on schedule. If you like to be on our morning Twitter announcement or notification, contact me directly at markmonolix@comcast.net. Thank you, Patrick McEwen, for showing up today, and thank you, Bill.
No, always a pleasure. Talk to you all soon.